Throughout history, love has rarely been written in grand books. Instead, it lived quietly, inside fragile letters, carefully folded, sealed with hope, and sent across distances of land, sea, and time. Many of these messages were never meant for the world to see, yet somehow, they survived, hidden within forgotten archives, old records, and the silent pages of history. Today, these delicate words reveal whispers from centuries past, voices filled with longing, devotion, and heartbreak. Each letter carries its own mystery, a small fragment of two lives once connected by ink and emotion. In this video, we uncover these forgotten letters and explore the mysteries they hold, revealing the emotions once poured onto paper and the human stories still echoing through time. Our journey begins with one of the oldest expressions of love, hidden deep within the archives, dating back nearly 600 years. Found on the back of a draft official report, prepared during an investigation into a rebellion in 1457, sometime between the late Middle Ages and the Tudor period. It is a love song, meticulously written on parchment. What allowed this fragile document to survive is a strange twist of history. Although it had nothing to do with state affairs, it was quietly preserved because it happened to be attached to an official government record. These carefully written lines contain not only the words of a lover, but also the musical notes of the melody itself. The author remains unknown, but one thing seems almost certain. Perhaps a civil servant, silently contemplating the woman he loved, or perhaps an official who knew the quiet pain of unreturned affection. Within the poem, the writer hints at this unrequited love with these words: "That woman who hurts me, I am astonished that she would do this, because I love her and nothing else." And yet, the song also imagines another possibility. In its final lines, the author speaks of the joy he would feel if his love were returned, if she were to begin to fall in love with me. No human being with a tongue and a pen could ever describe it. It would be more than the joy that would arise within me. Yes, more than 5 centuries have passed, and the person who wrote these lines has long since faded into the silence of history. His name is forgotten, his life erased, but the brief confession of his heart has not been lost. In a strange twist of fate, these fragile words remained hidden among official documents. And today, those faded traces of ink still whisper a story to us. Perhaps the person who wrote these lines never imagined that their words would one day be read again. But sometimes, people are forgotten. Time passes. Even empires disappear. Yet the trace a heart leaves upon paper continues to live on across the centuries. "1672. The year chaos began for the Netherlands. After the attacks from France and England, the country was shaken by war and fear. But in the midst of this great historical storm, there was another very different story. The story of Mrs. Meidertz, who lived in a small port town, because her beloved Willem was thousands of kilometers away, in Batavia, and the distance between them was not just sea, but time, war, and an endless ocean. Mrs. Meidertz poured out her longing for her husband Willem, who was far away from her and their children, her passion and her despair into the lines of a letter. Although she herself did not know how to write, she had her third of her 3 surviving children write this letter for her. In her letter, Mrs. Meidertz expressed the pain of being separated from her husband during difficult times, saying,
I wish, if only you would write to me, my love, about how you lie in your bunk bed at night, holding your pillow in your arms, imagining I'm right beside you, and if only I could write to you about how I do the same. But it's futile. I must patiently wait for the right time.
Mrs. Meidertz sent the heartfelt letter she had written to her husband on a ship departing from Amsterdam. However, the letter would never reach her beloved husband, Willem. Sadly, the ship carrying the letter had sunk off the coast of Dorset. The letter was found among documents salvaged from the ship and sent to the Maritime High Court in London, where it has been archived. The year 1842, England. A father wrote a letter to the government for his family, who were starving to death. That letter contained the following sentence: "We are starving to death in a country of abundance." Thomas, who lived in Derbyshire, England, and had earned his living working on a knitting loom for many years, was completely unemployed as a result of the rapidly changing conditions brought about by industrialization. He had a wife and 3 young children waiting for him at home. At first, they were just hard days. Then the food started to run out. Another day passed. Another day. The containers in the kitchen were empty. In a letter he would later write, Thomas would state that his family had not eaten anything for 5 days. In desperation, Thomas's first action was to seek help from the authorities. The law in effect in England at that time was the 1834 Poor Act. This law provided for poor people to receive assistance or be placed in workhouses. Thomas requested assistance or placement in a workhouse with his family, but his application was rejected. He then appealed to a judge. The judge, after examining the case, sent an order to the local authorities, stating that the Henshaw family should be helped. But still, nothing changed. The authorities did not implement this order either. The law, which existed on paper, did not benefit Thomas and his family. Finally, Thomas decided to try another approach. If he couldn't get help from the local authorities, he had to make his voice heard higher up, through a letter. So he decided to write to the authorities in London and sent his letter to the Poor Law Commission. In his letter, he described the hunger his family was experiencing. He wrote that he had asked for help, but had been turned away by the authorities, and the despair he felt. This letter was a father's last hope. One of the most striking sentences in Thomas's letter was, "If things continue like this, we will starve to death in a country of abundance." These words were not merely a complaint. They were a father's last cry to keep his family alive. Today, this letter is still preserved in the archives. Thomas Henshaw was just one of thousands of poor English and Welsh who complained about the treatment they received from local authorities. But this letter was no ordinary appeal. These lines didn't just tell the story of one man. They also became a powerful testimony to how poverty and injustice were experienced in 19th century England. And even today, it serves as a reminder of the desperation in which poor people lived during that period. If you're fascinated by mysterious stories from history, forgotten letters, and unsolved legends, make sure to subscribe to Unsolved Legends TV. Like the video and join us as we uncover the secrets hidden in the past. New mysteries await in every story. Subscribe now and keep exploring the unknown.